Glasses off. Hey.
No, just wait. Just wait, bro. Just wait, bro.
Boys. Here we go. We're gonna wait for a little bit. People jump in. Here we go. They're not popping in.
Are they?
Jeez.
Yeah, we got 5 people in there. We got Ernie Brown, Evan TV. All right. Come on, guys. Come on in.
Come on in. Feed the monsters. Let's go.
Yeah. Yep.
Enjoy the show.
That's it. Yo, look. Yo, the TBA got that $1 million smile right there. Brandon, just keep smiling, brother. You just keep.
I know.
Oh, I ain't gonna lie. I'm out from working last night yet.
Really?
Yeah. Because I knew if I went to sleep as soon as I got home, it would be rough to get up and try to get set up. I was like, let me just stay awake. Finish the show.
Yeah. And he's gonna fall asleep like mid show. He just you don't see his head go.
We all got to do that though. We got to join you though on that quest. Like if you're on that dream quest, we all got to do the same thing. Just like kind of slowly drift over. Instead of the Bullock experience, it's going to be the nap experience.
Yeah. Hey, in this comfortable presidential chair I've got. Oh yeah, I'll probably lean back and go.
That's it.
Ain't no wrong with it.
Nah, I'm all about that too. I was literally about to take a nap too before this, and I thought the same thing. I was like, nah, if I do that, yeah, we're gonna be shot.
Oh yeah, I was sitting there eating food and watching through on Fast 9 on trying to watch it, and I was like, I better watch something that's not gonna put me to sleep.
Put on some Jackass, man. The good old days. That'll wake you up an hour.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, absolutely.
See Steve-O in one of them porta potties.
Oh yeah, Ernie Brown says I'm like a VIP in that chair. I am the VIP. Look at this. I got the flag. I got the beer sign. I got the Muffy hood behind me.
Especially Shock Top, man. That's a good choice. I think I should have grabbed one for the show, but let's keep it PG-13 today.
Hey.
So how many people
like water, but it may not be. We got 10 in the house now. We got 10 people.
What's up, all 10 of y'all? You know what I'm saying?
That's it. Thanks so much for being with us.
We got Ernie Brown, 351, Chrissy Brown, Fins and Fines. We got the Dotson Explicit channel.
Explicit, whoa.
We got 2K in the house. Frustration, John.
Oh, yeah.
So that's another thing right there. Kevin. Is we're starting to get a whole ton of UK guys watching us now.
Really?
Yeah, there's a whole lot.
Yeah, they're in everybody's live now.
Oh yeah.
That's amazing. Oh man, that's so funny. Listen, my brother's from across the canal, huh?
Yep, across the pond. Yep.
Well, remember, I'm from Germany, so we have a canal that connects that separates Britain from us. And so we always got to watch it, because we're always like, listen, don't try to swim over that to come over to a better country, okay? You just stay over there.
I was watching them the other day, and they were Happy Gilmoreing casting just weights, and they were throwing it out 300 yards out into the water.
You're talking about the pendulum cast. Yeah, it's an extremely difficult technique.
Yeah, they were using like the big 12-foot, 15-foot rods, and they're running and just throwing it.
Nah, you could say, the TBA's got it down though. He's getting it. The thing is, he's got these stout rods, and like when you see him sling it, it's like watching a catapult just go. I mean, you can literally just hit like the other side of the river.
You know what I'm saying? I don't be messing with all these up-to-date brands that are all out there. You put your little lights and highly reflective paint. I just get the stuff off of marketplace
Oh, we already got shots fired. He's not even in here, and you're already shooting off fireworks. Oh.
Yo, man, none of that, none of these colors over here, these funky things. Okay, we're not in a kiddie pool. Okay.
I just need a basic break to go. That's all.
That's it. Every day, man.
Listen, never heard that cast, but I was told that it was what I look like by a wife. Huh.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, what is coming up for us? What do we got going on? What's the juicy things that are going to be sizzling over here for us?
All right. Well, let's get it started. Well, welcome everybody. This is What's in Your Tackle, episode number 12. And we have to my left is Kevin the Catterman. And then below, over this way, is Brandon TBA, the Baltimore Angler. Howdy to the folks.
What's up, y'all?
What's going on, peoples? Glad to be with you. Thank you so much for having us.
Definitely.
Has Life is in the house.
Oh no, Glizzy Masters.
Yep.
Oh no.
So basically, what we do on the show, if you've never seen one of my episodes before, all we do is we talk about tackle. Basically, it's a talk show about what tackle you bring to the table. So we can get started. In chat, if y'all got questions for either one of them, make sure you put a question mark in front of the question. That way I can pick it out easier. So, but who wants to go first? Who wants to start talking about tackle?
Well, when it comes to catfish tackle, I get a lot of looks because I go overkill. Even KC Catterman already smiling because he knows how I roll, man.
But you get it done.
Yeah, man. But I might have a lot of people look at me and stuff. But it's all about what works in this way. There's room for error.
Yeah.
Catfish gear. I'm not too convinced with leaders. I actually have a steel leader on my catfish setup. That's mainly because of breakouts, stuff like that.
I do too.
You know what I'm saying? And I got 80-pound braid on all my catfish rods. Because again, people look at me like, dang, man, that's kind of overkill. But if I break off, it's because I'm in a snag that I can't break. And the only time it becomes a nuisance is when I'm trying to break it off because everything is so strong, man. But again, I'm all about not having to be out there tying stuff when I can have poles out and trying to fish. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And that's it. You have a more simplistic way of going about it because you just want to get baits on the water. You want to make sure that you're fishing. And I'm the exact opposite. Everything for me is like scientific and technique based. That's why I probably need 3 times as much time as the TBA to be able to get everything done that I do.
Well, especially when you have to kayak your bait out to the middle of the water too. So.
Oh, well, let me tell you about that. That was the problem with that was, not to get too far off into the tangent here, but just real quick to clarify, is that usually this spot on the beach is not that bad. And then one of the locals I talked to, he's like, I've never seen it this bad before. Those lights you saw going by, those were my headlamps and those are my glow sticks. Like I flipped 3 times. So I told him you might want to retire that kayak, and I got a better one in mind for you. So let's look at the shopping cart. So I started showing him on the phone, like, maybe you should buy this one over here. Yeah. But that, just to kind of match up with what Brandon said, I'm with that. I'm completely with that. Like you got to have those sturdy setups, right? Like you got to just be able to be aware that you're going to lose tackle when you're catfishing. It's just inevitable. But I think that's one of my biggest things that I've had to deal with is I hate breaking off. So I'll make these rigs like all tied up. Let's say mainline, shock leader, regular leader, and all different poundages. So, I'll use 50-pound braid is my favorite. So I'm a little bit lower than the TBAs. And then I go to like a 60-pound shock leader. So it's even thicker and better for the rocks. and then I'll go to like 30 or 40-pound mainline, which is like the exact opposite. So if I break off, I just lose the hook. I mean, like if you break off, you're losing the weight, you're losing everything, but at least it's a quick and easy thing. You don't care, right? You just snap it.
I'm either breaking off or I'm pulling that whole entire snag in, which I've done. I've pulled three.
Oh,
I can't wait for you to get a bull shark one day and just be like, see, I told you guys.
That's bucket list right there, man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We got the combos for
so, in your all's waters, I mean, I'm not familiar with a lot of your waters. What size weights do you all normally typically try to use?
Potomac River, man, that's a very broad question when it comes to Potomac, because I've had times where 3 ounces of weight will hold the bottom. I've had times where 12 ounces of weight will get swept away like paper. It just depends on the current, and the current can be very unpredictable.
Yeah.
Part of the Potomac River that you fish.
Especially like when you get a heavy rainfall at the Great Falls, and that just comes right down and sweeps through like the capital section. I mean, when I was out there a couple of years ago, when you got that big fish, that's when the waters were still high in the cold water, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. April 2018, we had a very bad storm that came. Potomac was flooded out until October. A lot of spots that I used to be able to fish, I couldn't fish. Spots that I used to like have to hike out, I couldn't access, and it was just blown out until like the middle of October 2018. I mean, it was bad.
That's months, man. That's a lot of water that came down there. That's crazy. I mean, yeah. I mean, so I usually, it really depends. Sinker choices has a lot to do with the bottom contour. So the first thing you got to figure out is what's going on with that bottom. Because if you're dealing with muddy or sandy bottom, you don't want to throw bank sinkers out there, especially if you have current. You're going to want to probably go with a pyramid, maybe a frog tongue, So I don't know if I think it's a little different. I used to use 6 ounces on the Potomac, but those were bank sinkers, and that was because there was a lot of rocks right off of like where. Let's see, what's it called again? I forget what the place is called. Either way, the stretch that we fish. It's got rocks. It's got a steep rock ledge. So a bank sinker is going to be easier to get out of there than a pyramid. But usually I'll go with like 4 ounces.
Okay. What kind of knots do y'all like using when you're all tying your rigs up and stuff? What's the knot choice? Or do you kind of change them up?
It depends with me. If I'm doing pan fishing or something like that, then I'll just do like overhand knot and figure 8. But depending on what I'm targeting, especially if I'm wanting a bigger fish, I might go a double, maybe even a triple Palomar knot. I started learning the FG knot from Catterman on one of our sharking adventures. But
that's it, baby.
I'm still learning that knot. That's a complicated knot for me. Of course, I nail all my hooks too.
Yes.
To do just a basic Palomar on my hooks until I finally got the technique down of snelling a hook. So I like to pre-snell, make my leaders, just so that way I'm already prepared with it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, look, we got Beckett down there. You are fantastic. Thank you for being with us today. Becca the Mud Tramp, the one and only. She was so nice too. When I lost my glasses, she sent in a big super chat, and again, that really means a lot to me. I was like, "Damn,
yeah,
thank you."
And she's got a question. What size hooks do you use for sharks the other day?
So they really depend. So for those also who don't know, I'm actually starting up a land-based shark fishing charter service. So I really have to think about buying like a bulk amount of these. I really like using catch-all tackle, 16 odds. So 16 is good, and on the big conventionals, we'll put 20 odds. I know it sounds gigantic to some people, but when you're shark fishing, that's a small hook when you look at the gap. And they're all carbon steel. We remove all the barbs because you can't have barbs when you're shark fishing because you need to have a quick way to release that hook, and that's a 16 odd usually, and then if we want to go for the big boys, we want to put a whole stingray on, we'll just put a 20 odd through it.
I will say
now if you're doing catfish, what do you normally go after? What size?
Wait, Brandon, what'd you say?
I was saying with my sharks, I use specifically a 20-aught owner hook, and that's because there's such a wide gap between the point and the shank of the hook. And when you're shark fish, you got to realize that with all the heat, they can make for a pretty tough hookup sometimes, especially when you're dealing with a sand tiger shark that has teeth that protrude out. But I had a buddy of mine who recommended those, and the hookup ratio with the 20-aught owner hooks are amazing. Downside, you're going to pay about $20 just for 2 hooks. They are very expensive.
See, that's where we do things different. You see, Brandon usually likes to save a little money, but when it comes down to that end of the tackle, you invest in it. My forged hooks, I had to sit here at home and shave them myself because them VMCs, that's what you're paying those $10 for. All that hard labor of the forearms right there.
Getting barbs off. I was sweating trying to get these barbs off. 16-aught team.
Yeah.
Woo! I felt like I was working 8 hours after I got them barbs off of them hooks, man.
I told you it was no joke, man. You were definitely putting up a sweat.
For real.
Yeah.
Oh, you said catfish hooks. What do we use? For me personally, I like to go with the just the 10-aught team catfish hooks. You know, I used to use Eagle Claw. I'm starting to get away from them a little bit. Yeah. But team catfish, I've been using them now for the last 2 years. 10-aught hooks.
I got to second those too. Definitely second those. But it's usually those team catfish are really the dual action hooks. I think Rip and Lip sells a very similar one too. They're really good for like bobber fishing with like live sunnies for flatheads. I think that's my favorite. But other than that, I mean, I'll go with. I love the Hooker's Terminal tackle, the Reaper hooks, especially like the 8 odds or the 10 odds. Great circle hooks.
If I'm doing pan fishing, I will always go with Gamakatsu. Gamakatsu have the best hooks when it comes to smaller hooks, like a size 10 J hook, just for like blue gills or something like that.
That's a good choice. How about Aberdeen? That's the ones I usually love to use because there's no way the panfish will swallow those.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got 15 wonderful people in the house. I'm going to say hello to a couple of people that just jumped in. We got Dr. Frankenstein.
Oh, my man.
We've got
He's in the house.
We got 3+1 Outdoors.
What's up, y'all?
We got Sir Finn.
What's going on, guys?
Your boy. And let's see. Tim Molina's in the house.
There we go.
Out here sharing your all link. And you got both of y'all's got a few people that sub to you already that's tonight. So there's you a couple more.
Appreciate it.
Oh, that's fantastic. Thank you so much, guys.
For those who just now sub TBA, hey, man, I got 2 awesome flathead videos coming out. One this Wednesday, and then June 16th, probably the best flathead trip of my life, man. I cannot wait till this video drops, man. So y'all stand by. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you were. I can't give anything away, but it's definitely going to be worth it for you guys to watch that.
Yeah, Catterman.
Before we get any further, Brandon, what did you think about the thumbnail? So what did you think about the thumbnail?
That was from that bass I caught, right?
Maybe, yeah.
We got Coco Wade in the building. River Monsters, Baltimore Monsters coming out.
You know, the first thing I always do is I go to the locals first, and then I talk to them, find out what are the stores that's going around. You know what I'm saying?
Blimey, this man is crazy. Oh, that was on point, man. Yeah, that's right there. That's it, though. That's Coco Wade, man, in the house. Like, if you guys can only imagine the kind of adventures that TBA is about to go on, about a video, especially that editing in that last video, it's just getting better and better, man. It's fun to watch.
Yo, as a matter of fact, while I was waiting for this stream today, I was working on a trailer for the second Flathead video. I think it's my best trailer yet because I'm doing some crazy stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? I would say this, I don't know if he's in here now, Palmetto Cats, man. He motivated me to try to raise the bar a little bit, make it pop, because this guy's always doing something just so different and just like changing the game.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like it motivates me my game. And when everybody does that, the viewers get the best of us. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. It's very true.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Man.
Absolutely.
That's it, man. You know how that is. Absolutely. We go step by step until it gets better and better and better.
That's right. Only way is up.
Yeah, that's it. We got a ton of things up there on the stairs, man. And at the bottom of the stairs, sometimes you got good things waiting too. So it's just an up and down trip.
Absolutely. Well, let's get into. We've talked about the hooks. We've talked about the lines, the rigs and stuff. What kind of poles are we using?
Now, when it comes to catfishing, you know, I'll be honest. I look for stuff on Facebook Marketplace. I'm not too big on the buying brand new stuff with catfishing. Now with snakeheads, you know, things like that. I actually have an ugly stick casting pole, and for the price, it's a doggone good pole. I got it dialed in, and I mean, I can get it where I want it, you know. But with catfishing, man, I just kind of just get whatever, man. As long as something that I can cast something out and something that has a good backbone that'll keep tension on the line with that and make it a somewhat of a good fight. But I'm not too particular when it comes to different types of brands with catfishing poles.
See,
what about you, Kevin?
I don't know. I mean, I got my favorites. I got my Daiwa FTs. Like so a couple of years ago, I started off first when it came to catfishing using Rip and Lips, and I really liked the Rip and Lips rods in the beginning. I slapped on conventional reels. I was watching what Steve Douglas was doing. I was like, I gotta get a conventional reel. I gotta get a 7'6" medium heavy. I gotta just crank these fish. I gotta put on 65-pound braid. And like what I didn't realize was that I'm living on the East Coast here. Okay, this is not Kentucky, Ohio. This is not Missouri or Mississippi. We don't have 120-pound blue cats. Okay. I was yanking 20-pound flatheads across the river like it was a box turtle skating along the surface. Like it was no fun at all. Like it was just bringing a bunch of pancakes home and just letting them go. Like, so I actually the last couple of years I've been trying to find like more fun style rods to kind of get into. So I tried the ugly stick catfish rods, kind of like those, but I really like the 11-foot medium action Daiwa FT surf rods, and that's just because they work good for circle hooks. It's a fiberglass blank, so it's a lot of give, but still got good backbone. One of the best materials in a blank, if you ask me. Fiberglass is old school, but great and cheap. And then if I'm using live bait in the summertime with big old kale hooks for flatheads, I mean, these surf rods, you'll see me like, I'll go back and I'll slam 11 feet of fiberglass back, and it just gets them every time.
Yeah, see, I use 8-foot Berkeley beam rods, but where I live here in Kentucky, I don't have a lot of bank space, so I have to have something smaller, something able to throw out a lot easier.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. Well, how big are those?
8 foot.
Okay, that's what I thought. That's decent though. I mean, so are those like the Pay Lake rods, or are those the very? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just playing.
I hadn't touched those crappy little lakes since I was a kid.
I love that, man. I love that. That's important.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, no, that's definitely that's the way to go for sure. Surf rods.
The rip and lip.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you were talking about the rip and lip the other day earlier, but yeah, I've got a rip and lip now. Just got one from Palmetto a little while back on one of his. I think it was that sub. They had a big tournament where everybody got all the big cash money, all that stuff with him and Chunky and Haz and all of them. Mm-hmm. I won a 7.6 medium action rip and lip casting one from him. So,
oh, nice! Congrats! That's a sick action right there. I like a nice and medium too.
Yeah, just gotta get a reel for it now.
Got the next choice. Yeah, that's them casting rods, man. But I'll tell you what, them stainless steel guides, that's the one thing I learned with those rip and lifts. When I first used them, I put on that cast king braid. And then I remember one day I was like, this rod is casting really funky. And I never realized you probably shouldn't mix cheap braid with like stainless steel guides. I looked at the top, I'm like, damn, man, it's like a saw movie. There's like literally like a groove in this guide that's like about to cut through it.
Yeah. But see, I'm mono all the way, so.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, mono's the way to go, hands down.
So what kind of reels are you all using? What's y'all trying to stay kind of low price reels, or are you all medium, or are y'all going for the Abu Garcia $200 reels and things like that?
So Catterman is completely like, with the fishing line and fishing reels, Catterman has just reprogrammed the whole game. I'm not too big on fishing rods, but I am very big on my fishing reels. My carp rods, some of my snakehead rods, carp rods, the Okuma AFB Avenger. That's all. You know, the first time I used that reel was actually about 100-pound bar shark. Very versatile reel. Catterman just got me hooked onto that. You know what I'm saying? As far as bait casters, conventional reels, I do like the Pin Squall series. I do have an Abu Garcia Ambassador, and then I have a Lose. I cannot remember what type, but it's a low profile bait casting reel that I use for snakeheads.
Speed spool? No, not speed spool. Sorry, is it something speed, right?
Yeah, I think it is a speed spool. I a lot. That costs a little bit of money, but I'm very happy with that reel though.
Yeah.
But Okuma AFB Avenger, if I'm going with a spinning reel, that's pretty much all I'll purchase. You know, Catterman got me hooked on that now.
He addicted on that Akuma. Woo! That was some good stuff right there. Cheap too. Cheap, affordable, very decent. You know.
And we'll get into that later on in the show. We'll get your ideas on talking about like just getting started in the catfish world. We'll get and start talking about kind of that stuff about the rods and reels and equipment and stuff like that. For those kind of people. What all do you all? We'll start with Kevin. What do you kind of bring in with your tackle? Like, what are you already at pre-tied rigs? Are you already set up with extra stuff that you need to take with you at all times, or what?
Always. So one of my biggest fears in life is to like get broken off, look back at my tackle box, and realize I don't have enough stuff to be able to like retie. So I'm like retentive about like making sure that I have everything on me: hooks, swivels, beads, weights, lots of sinkers for sure. Extra line too. So I really should pre-snell or like pre-make my rigs, to be honest with you. It would probably save a lot of time, especially when I'm fishing with other people and they're like, oh, Catterman's changing a rig. Cool. I'll talk to him in 30 minutes when he's done.
Yeah.
You know, takes a while. Perfection takes a while, guys. You know, that's how it is. What about the TBA though? What we got going on down there? A bunch of crimps?
Oh man, that's a whole different.
Never gonna let you live that down, dude.
Oh man, hey, I say, it look good to me.
It ain't going nowhere.
Oh man. So before we get into the crimping, so what I like to do, I'm all about. If I'm preparing a trip, I'll pull all my tackle in. I'll go through everything. I see what I need. Everything I got right there. I do pre-tie my leaders because I don't know if I'm wrong for this, but I kind of look at it as from a business standpoint. Because when you're doing YouTube, you want your lines in the water as long as possible. You don't want to be sitting around messing with your gear. That's not the time to do it. You know what I'm saying? So I'll check all my lines, make sure I have no frays, nothing like that. I do like to make sure I have everything in my tackle box that I need, from sliding single rigs, weights, hooks, swivels, beads, anything I might need, And if I do need to re-spool, I'm thinking economically. I don't go to the store and buy the 300-yard spool. I'll go online and buy that 3,000-yard spool of line.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's going to be like $200 depending on the pound test that you buy. But at the same sense, it's going to be a long time before I have to buy some more line. So I'm just kind of thinking of it from an economic standpoint, because my goal when I'm out on the water, I don't want to be fooling around with gear. I want to be prepared, and I want to keep lines in the water as long as possible. And also, when I fish, the legal limit in Maryland is 3 rods, but I only fish with 2 rods because it just kind of minimizes tangles. I mean, there's some guys that fish with 3, some with 4, but me, I'm 2 rods, I'm good to go. You know what I'm saying?
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah, I mean, I like how you got that little moment of like, got to make sure you're not wasting nobody's time because you're out there on the water. I almost felt like I heard like a little chunky-esque, like a little reminder right there, in the background. What's Catterman doing on live stream? Oh, is he out there again, like getting all his stuff ready? Like, and everyone's like, what the hell? Is he talking to us? No, Chunky leaves. He's like, no, I'm done with this guy.
I tell you, like, it's when someone's live and they're messing with their gear, they haven't dialed in, and they're messing with their gear. It's like, I ain't watching you to mess with your gear. I want to see you catch a fish. You know what I'm saying?
True that. You are damn right about that.
Yeah, man. So I take care. It's all about being prepared. Take care every day before you get a new reel. Get it dialed in before you go out there. Dialing it in on the fishing trip is not the time to do it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I'm all about being prepared, man.
Hands down.
Damn
straight, brother.
Right.
All day long, man. You were damn right about that. I'm gonna learn a lot from this experience too. This is instead of the bullock experience now, it's also the bullying experience. I'm like, damn, bro, I gotta change the way I'm doing things over here.
Everybody's got their ways and habits.
That's it. We do.
There's a million different ways to skin a cat. Many different ways to do things with fishing. I was always told in the fishing world, don't learn a lot from a few people. Learn a little bit from a lot of people, man.
A lot of people.
A little bit from everybody you ever meet.
Yeah. I'm with that.
John from Fishing Frustrations. Hey, man, maybe another time I'll send that link out to the chat. Let people join in. Might do a free-for-all tackle talk and just let people join. But at this time, we'll get the 2 guests in. So we're going to talk to them. But I appreciate it, man.
Boom.
Appreciate that 351. Appreciate that, man, with the donation. Appreciate that.
That's it. Let's get that in here. Support the experience.
Yep. Yeah, make sure y'all share this out. Hit the thumbs up, man. If you can, if you want to, donations are appreciated to help keep this going and get some more content. People in here talking about tackle. Don't really get to see it mostly in your live shows. I've been watching a lot of them. What do you carry your tackle in? Are you using the old fashioned tackle box? Use a tackle bag, or what do you usually put your stuff in?
Oh, me? I got these old dry bags, and I literally throw everything in these dry bags and seal them up. Nothing fancy. Like, none of those backpacks or anything like that. I got the old coolers from Walmart, the $5 ones. They're all rusty and looking gross. They got weights everywhere in them, but just a couple of waterproof boxes too. I really should get a tackle management system now that I'm saying that.
As for me, my fault.
Go ahead.
All right. So for me, man, I'm all about the book bags, man, and I actually have a bag for my shark gear. I got a bag for the catfish gear. I got a bag for my snakehead gear. I don't have a bag for the carp gear, but I do have this little notebook that you can keep all your method feeders and all that stuff inside. But, whichever I'm fishing, I just grab that bag and I'm good to go. Now my storage at my house, that's another story. It isn't constantly reorganizing stuff. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I just basic book bag, man. Got all my stuff I need. I'm good to go.
I'm with that right there. Oh, hey, look, we got Ricky's Fishing Adventures. Damn straight. These guns are made for the ladies right here. Got them already. But no. So what is that? It's easy for you then, right? Because the moment that you want to fish for a species, all you got to do is grab that backpack and you're ready to go.
If we go on shark fishing, I got a backpack ready to go with all my shark stuff in. All I got to do is grab it and go. I used to carry a rucksack just like from my old Army days. The problem is if you can fit so much stuff in there, you trying to find one thing, you're pulling everything out. The whole rucksack deal, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah.
Ernie Brown.
I got all my.
Ernie,
I got all my creek, my bass, all that stuff just in a book bag, normal just school book bag, and little totes ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Ernie Brown, you just took me back to my childhood with catawba worms, man. I haven't used those in so long. I have used them before. A heck of a bait with channel cats. Channel cats love it, man.
Really?
And they do not come off the hook. They cannot get that. Catawba worms are awesome. Oh my gosh. And now, probably in June, if you know where to look, that's going to be the time to start being able to get them too.
I've always been interested in those. Yeah.
Was that?
Where can you find them?
Now, see, back in the 90s when I used to fish with my dad, man, out in Ohio, there'd be a few people who would go out and pick them. Now, from what I remember, you go deep into the woods, you just find them feasting on like huge leaves. Late spring, early summer, around the end of June, early July is around the best time that you can find them. I don't know if any places in Maryland or right here on the East Coast, but I know in Ohio it's a pretty popular bait. Channel cats love them. Oh my gosh, catawba worms. See, out there in Ohio, they call them cobby worms. But Ernie, you just made a flood of memories with that comment. I appreciate it. Oh my god.
Isn't that awesome?
He says we have about 15 trees that have those on it, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I know that they work really good because you see sometimes people online who are like, listen, I'll pay top dollar for just anyone who can ship me catawbas.
They are a heck of a bait. I almost slipped my bag.
Heck of a
awesome bait, man. They are a very awesome bait. And it stays on the hook. The catfish cannot get them off. You eventually just have to change them because it gets dead and soggy. But they are awesome bait, though.
So it was like, was it like eater size channel cats you guys would catch with those, or
just eater size channels, man?
Okay.
And your poles in the water, they're just hitting them left and right, and then again, couldn't get them off the hook. So you catch one, worm's still in there, still good, bam, cast out, you good to go.
Yeah.
I haven't used that since like the mid '90s, man. It's been, gee whiz, it's been about 25 years since I last used those, man.
You're right. You're making me feel old right now. Damn.
Okay.
$10 a dozen. Okay, that's not bad.
No, not bad at all for a dozen.
Yeah, it's like literally like bloodworms here on the East Coast. Same thing. They're about almost $1 each.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
Don't buy those. It's a waste of money. But anyways.
What kind of rod holders are we using? Or are you all just using like Walmart's, or are you using your? I know Kevin was using his own. I saw your video. You made your own out of PVC pipe.
Mm-hmm. I'm actually gonna do a new video on that too. I'm gonna do a refresh video because that was kind of me, old school, a little raggedy looking. Wasn't really feeling myself back then yet, like I am now. So I'm gonna redo that. Yeah. But yeah, definitely, you want to get PVC pipe. You want to get electrical. I think they're electrical clamps. They call them electrician clamps, and then you want to get yourself some really nice. I don't like rebar. I know some people recommend rebar. I think it's too thick. You want to get yourself some steel piping.
I'm I'm using stainless. I think it's not stainless steel, but I'm using galvanized steel landscaping spikes.
Oh, nice. That's a good idea. Okay, so you just
And they
clamp it onto
got an
there,
L
tighten it
shape.
down. That's it.
They got an L shape on it to where you can actually hammer them down if you needed to.
Ah,
You
cool.
have a
Put
harder
your foot on there.
sole.
I like that. That's smart right there. Yeah, because the ones you buy at the store, I'm sorry, you'll lose your rod eventually. Like whether it's the spiral ones
Oh yeah.
or it's those the cheap
not-
PVC plastic ones where you just nail them a couple times with the hammer, the whole thing at the top just crusts out, and you're like, wow, hey, that's a hell of a rod holder right there. I got a couple chunks in my hand, I think.
Well, not just that. Like my Berkeley big games, the butt on the bottom of them are so big. Those spiral flexible ones at Walmart, they don't fit in it, and if they do, I mean, you're shoving them in there, and then when you're getting ready to pull that thing out, it's like it ain't coming out, so you're pulling your whole stake up and everything out of it. So, I mean, it's like it's useless.
You're gonna have to learn how to use rod holders sometimes, because I've had that too with some of my rod holders. When people come fishing with me, they'll like try to catch the fish, especially when they're like, they're new to it, and they'll try to yank out, and I'll see them holding the rod holder with the rod and try to put the rod holder between their legs, and it's still on the rod. I'm like, what are you doing, buddy?
Yeah.
So me, I
trying to.
Oh, my fault. My bad.
Damn,
bro. My fault, y'all. I'm saying.
I mean, that's the rod holders.
That's the Kelly special.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's 2-inch. That's 2-inch PVC pipe with those stakes on them with Gorilla Tape.
Okay.
Gorilla Tape. Oh, you got some faith in that gorilla.
I used them the other night and they worked fine. They didn't rip. So
that's it.
I would say, people, it ain't gotta look pretty. It gotta work, man. That's it.
That's it.
No.
That's it.
No. And I mean, I'm not TBA. I'm not him that might go out there and buy the $50 rod holders.
That was that eel I bought. That was like $50 that day, man.
What?
Yeah. So there's
oh my gosh, you're learning from Haz and Chunky and them buying those eels.
I haven't used eel in a while, man. Like I just haven't. I've started really getting into gizzard shad and bluegills. I just hadn't really used eel, but they're the market down the street from my house. They just have these huge eels. Like, they look like baby moray eels almost, but they sell them like $15 a pound, and the one I got was like 3 pounds. So I ended up paying $45. Whoa.
Oh, I guess I got to start another business venture there. I guess I got to start shipping eels across the U.S. because that is funny.
Whew, it was bad.
Bro, all I got to do is do a trip right down here, 25 minutes down the street from me. Throw out a couple of worms, and I'll catch you 2 and 3 pound eels all day like that.
Oh, man.
That's crazy. $45.
Yeah, but I mean, they're all about the fish, though. They do have some good quality fish in there.
Okay. Did they catch you some good fish?
Because I think that was one of my first lives. And like,
okay.
It was. I never really had too much success catching fish on live streams, man. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You just get it done. The moment that the phone is there, just taking it live, it's just, I know the rods go off. It's like an experience down in Maryland on the Susquehanna River. It never happened, right?
Man, yeah.
We grinded, dude. Oh, that was bad. Yeah. That's what it's all about. But it was a good investment either way. I'm glad you purchased an eel for that much. That's good. It's eel gold, slimy gold. It's the way to go.
Wasted gold.
Wasted gold.
That was bad.
Yeah. I never buy my own bait really, except for squid. I did it in the beginning. We all do, right? Like we go to the Walmart and we buy those thread
Speaking of,
pins.
you remember Jeff when he went out to Ocean City to go shark fishing?
Yeah.
Well, when he caught that stingray, he just admitted to me that he had that stingray actually pulled his pole into the ocean. I was like, what? He said, yeah, man, I had to run in there. I got my pole back. I reeled it in, but those problems were real. Every time I put it in, it started drowning. I was like, service. Oh, I ain't getting a service. What are you doing? I was like, all right. Oh, man, I would have done the same thing. Oh, he caught that. He was freaking out. That was his first time ever saltwater fishing. And, for y'all in here who don't know, saltwater fishing is very, very different from fishing, man. Saltwater fish fight a lot harder, and he was just so shocked. He said, man, that tail was whipping everywhere. I thought he was going to whack me, man.
Oh, he was. Yeah, he was. And you got to be careful with those bars because not only do those fish fight hard, like you said, you got some dangerous things you're dealing with in the ocean. You got toadfish you might step on. You got all kinds of strange creatures you've never dealt with. And actually, a couple of years ago, I got stung real bad by a stingray in my finger, my index finger. And still to this day, sometimes when it rains, I don't have full power in the finger anymore. And it was quick. It was quick. I just grabbed it by the tail. I looked at the camera. I said, guys, ladies and gentlemen, people of the Catter Nation, this is how you handle a stingray correctly. Ow! Ow! These blood started shooting out of my finger. He's like, yo, are you okay? I'm like, dude, there's like muscle tissue hanging out. So, yeah. Yeah, it was bad. They're dangerous creatures.
We still got 14 people in the house.
Boom. I actually
we got Maurice.
What time it is. This is a good live show. I'm gonna have to go at 7:00, but let's make sure we make the most.
That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, the grind, TBA. We got to make it happen over here.
5 more minutes, man. You know what I'm saying?
13 more minutes, baby. We got this.
We got a half hour left. You good?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I don't know about that, but we're gonna see. All right, let's keep this going. This is a good show right here.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We still got 15 people in the house. Maurice Cason's in the house. Laughing Cat Fishing.
Laughing Cat, what's going on?
What up? What up?
Avid's in the house.
Boom. Avid also said something earlier. Mm-hmm. I was just going to say, Avid said something about the Dock Demon Challenge. Got to make sure that everybody knows that you're running that Dock Demon Challenge.
Yeah. If you all haven't already noticed, I am running a Dock Demon Ugly Stick Whisker Seeker Challenge. The rod has to be 38 inches or shorter with a 30-pound test line on it. That's including your leader. Your leader cannot be no more than 30 pound either. You have to catch either a channel, blue cat, or a flathead on it on a live stream on your channel. It has to be weighed in the camera so that way I can see it. So if y'all want into that challenge, make sure you do go over, watch the video, hit the thumbs up, and comment to be entered. And we do have some sponsors for the giveaway for that one. We've got HasLife is doing some part of the giveaway. We've got Mark from Fishing Magician. We've got Uncle Lou's Tackle. We've got Panfish Nation and Catfish Weekly together. Lyle Stokes is giving away a prize, and Patrick James is giving away some of his floats. So definitely you need to get over there and set that up, and you got between now and July 4th to do it in.
That's it. I'm going to see you guys in part of the challenge. I'm going to be on that on Thursday morning.
Nice. All right. I'll make sure that I'm in there to watch it.
Oh, you'll see. I got a plan. The man's got a plan. We're going to make this happen. And what I got to say to that too is,
Ernie says he's using,
man.
yeah. Yeah, if you all don't already know, the catter goat that's on the thumbnail, that is the little screaming goat
the one and only, the baby bad
that
boy.
Kevin does when he catches a fish. He makes sure he pushes that little goat and scream.
The video he and I did with the flathead fishing, man, fighting that big flathead. I look over, the little goat just standing there, and I asked him, I said, Catterman, is that yours? Yeah, don't touch it. I was like,
I don't think I said that. I don't think I said that. I think I said, yeah, we got to make sure we push that now because we got a big one on.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? It just tripped
Yeah,
me out.
I think in one of your lives, I think you forgot you caught a fish and you were already throwing your bait back out there. You were sitting there. I'm like, dude, you gotta squeeze the catter goat. You're like, oh yeah.
I'm glad that caught on. You know, it all started here at home because my sister bought one because, you know, sometimes when women need to let out their feminine energies, then they get frustrated. You know, they tend to be a little verbose. So she decided she would get herself a screaming goat again. So every time she gets frustrated, she just hits that. And we know, like, she's venting. I was like, you know, I got to get one of those for the channel.
But yeah, definitely, y'all hit up that challenge, man. It's going to be, I think we calculated it's going to be about $200 worth of prizes, and that's going to one person. So you got to, I mean, it's got to be 10 pounds or more to be eligible to win it.
So it's sorry, pardon me. It's I'm almost 30. Oh no. Oh, woo. Come on back here, TB. I got you, bro. You need another one?
Real quick, Catterman.
Could you imagine if we were in the same live stream right now, like in the same camera? That'd be funny as hell. Like, come on, bro. Let's go. We got this. Yeah.
But I mean, let's just go ahead and get into it. We'll start with you, TBA. For somebody that's just getting into the catfish world, just starting out, what is your advice to them about tackle?
Take time, see what works best for you. You know, one thing I learned, the affordable stuff works just as well as some of the most expensive stuff out here. You know, you see some guys within the live streams, they have this all the, you know, bells and whistles and all that, you know. At the end of the day, does all the visual effects help you catch fish? No. Me, you know, I'll take after a commercial fisherman I know here by the name of David Confair. That guy catches trophy everything, you know, and he found his own spots. And then, you know, again, he's a commercial fisherman. He shares the same philosophy as I do. I don't care about all the expensive stuff out there. Oh, so-and-so got a new rod coming out and got a new reel coming out. Just keep it simple. Just, you know, because the thing is, you don't want to overwhelm yourself. Next, if you're just starting out, avoid places like Bass Pro and Cabela's, because if you don't know what you're looking for, you're going to overwhelm yourself and you're going to find yourself becoming frustrated when you don't need to. Go somewhere simple like Dick's, Walmart. Just the basic setup. They got setups and combos that has everything you need to get set up. So just start off simple, start off easy, get your confidence up, and when you know what you like and when you start developing your own style, then that's when you can start branching out and start becoming more technical, setting your own rod and reels up. But just take your time, man. You know, don't rush it. Become flustered because of what you see some of other YouTubers doing. You know, just take your time, start off slow, and then you're eventually going to get it. All right?
I'll let you go.
I gotta second that to some extent. I mean, you're right. I mean, because there's some people who look up to some of us who are like, you know, more technical, and they'll spend hundreds of dollars initially when they're first getting into fishing, and it's sad to watch because they get more frustrated because they haven't taken their time yet to work up, and then they're the kind of people who are like, I have that reel sitting there. I thought, let's say I was watching the TBA and doing all stuff, and I wanted to get into fishing too, but then I realized it's just too complicated. No, don't overcomplicate it. There's a lot of information out there, but exactly, learn. And that's what fishing is about. And I think that's the most important thing that people who've done it for a while that we should impart upon others is the learning experience is what you should enjoy. That's the fun. Enjoy the entire experience. When it comes from first understanding how fishing even works, to learning how to handle your first fish, to working your way up the fish ladder, just enjoy that experience. Don't spend too much. Get yourself exactly like a cheap, good combo and just have fun out there. And don't litter. Always clean up after yourself.
Yeah, pick up after yourself.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. That's it. Put them in their place. Yo, don't litter. We're watching.
Ernie was talking about his comment. Said, "Why is bait so high?" So he was told by the old bait shop owner that no one wants to get out and do it like they did when they were in their teens. Mm-hmm. So what's your all's opinion about why bait's so high right now?
That's just a market, man. It's the same thing with gas. It's not so much of this bait. I think it's just the whole economy, just the whole market. Everything's expensive right now. All the more reason why it's better for you to try to go out and just get your bait yourself, man, because the best bait you could ever use is what they're naturally feeding on anyway, man. I've had problems where I bought a carp and I didn't pay attention. Next thing you know, I'm driving home and that thing starts stinking because it's spoiled, it's rotten. I'm like, doggone, I just wasted all this money on some carp. Now I gotta catch some bait, But
yeah,
I think it's just more of a market thing as opposed to just bait in general. It's just that kind of how the market is.
Definitely. I mean, you gotta, the thing is too, is you can do all this yourself. You can, if you really are getting into fishing, you could make your homestead real easy into a whole fishing factory. Here's what you do. Set up a compost pile. Whenever you're making, food, you got any leftovers, put the compost into there. Now you got this rich, nutrient-rich earth. All you got to do is go back there, take one shovel. You got 20, 30 worms. Good. You got worms. Do what Brandon said. Match the hatch. Figure out where you can catch some bait fish. Throw them in the cooler. Throw them into the bait tank. That's it. Quick and easy. A lot of the bait stuff that you can buy, I've learned, it's a money grab. And that bait is not going to work that well for you. And look, I respect commercial fishermen who do this stuff. But the problem is when you're taking away from the natural process, it's the same thing as eating processed food. When you're processing the bait, it's just not as good. It's not going to do what it needs to.
Yeah.
And another thing, too, as well, you hear guys on social media all the time, oh, bait tank, how do you keep fish alive in the water? Bait tank, this and that. Thirds cold water and this and put that in there. The best thing I learned, if I'm catching bait, I got a 5-gallon bucket. I have what's called a baby bubbles. It's a little aerator. And I use the same water that I fish out of, man. That's it. I keep it. I try. The reason I exist on YouTube, I want everything to be as simple as possible. I want you to watch my videos and say, you know what? I already do that. I could do that. That's not a crazy amount of money. I could do that, man. That's what I want you to gain from my videos. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Damn straight. Send it home.
Yeah. I mean, you can look at my lives and look and see that the stuff that I carry, my tackle and stuff that I have it's simple. It's cheap. Berkeley big game rods. Get them at Walmart for like what, $30-$40 maybe.
Yeah.
I've got the Quantum Optic 60. Yeah.
That's all you need.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have the most expensive stuff.
No.
Me, like, granted, okay, salt water, yeah, you're going to have to spend a little money. My muskie setup, yeah, I had to spend a little money because ain't nothing cheap in muskie fishing.
No.
Yeah.
And, I ain't all about the bells and whistles. I got the reflective tape on my rods. I ain't throwing no bright pink and orange and green and whatever colors out there that are reflecting some black. Oh, man, because that's not going to catch no fish for me. I'm trying to keep it simple. I could do that. Oh, man, that's easy. I got that same rod. That's how I've always rolled.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I feel you on that. I don't know. I feel you both on that. I don't know, but for me, fishing, I like it to be a little challenge. So like I feel you, it should be simple, but it's like the biggest thing is exactly find like a cheaper combo to work with, and I think it's the fine details that make the biggest difference. The knots, you're not spending money on knots. It's you're learning or using your brain here. The right hooks, the right leader size, like the right bait
Yeah.
presentation, and exactly the more you get, if you want to specialize, that's when you're gonna have to spend more money. Musky fishing, shark
Yeah.
fishing. I don't even recommend for most people to get into shark fishing because not only is it an incredible upkeep cost to get started, but the amount of knowledge you'll need, it is specialized. Catfishing, we all know catfishing is not crazy
And man,
sophisticated.
one thing I learned with shark fishing, you better have your mind right before you go after sharks. Telling you, taking a picture. When that shark hits and he's hooked, that is at least a half-hour commitment. You are committed to getting that shark in because there's a lot of legally binding things behind the scenes that you got to make sure and you have to be on par with those sharks. That's why if I go shark fishing, I'm always with that guy right there, Cat. I'm always going with Cat. I'm comfortable going by myself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, speaking of shark stuff, Ernie was asking about the shark stuff. He goes, I was wondering about shark stuff. Like, what all do you really have to be ready for going shark fishing?
So the first thing you need to look and understand is, and this is what I always say for every species, understand the biology of that fish first before you go after it. Learn about it, learn how it's thinking, and also learn about how to take care of it. So the thing with sharks is sharks are incredibly powerful. They're one of the strongest fish you'll ever come hand to hand with. But they're also some of the most sensitive. And they can die very quickly if you don't know how you handle them. The main reason why is when you're fighting a fish like a human being, like if I'm wrestling you, right after a while, I'm going to start having lactic acid, but I'm getting tired. I'm getting, like exhausted. Same thing happens to these sharks. But the problem for these beings is that one, they can only breathe by constantly being in moving water. The moment that fish stops, you bring it up on the sand, he's literally, So you need to have strong enough equipment to bring that fish in quickly. So I think 80-pound braid is the minimum I'd go with. You need to have really strong stout rods, which you're going to spend money on, strong reels, and you need to have everything prepared from a dehooker device to a tail rope. You really need to make sure that you have a process, and you always need to have a partner. Shark fishing is not something you do by yourself. You have a partner there, like the TBA just said. You have jobs assigned. Let's say you bring the fish and you put the rod in the rod holder. I grab it by the tail. I bring it in. You remove the hook. We let it go.
I'm telling you, when you start, it is pure chaos. Another thing that I think both of us have to kind of work on too, I've noticed from my video, especially with that 200-pounder last year.
Yeah.
Situational awareness. There was a particular moment where Catterman, he couldn't get the hook out of his mouth. So he went to go get the hook remover. So I'm just kind of sitting there just looking around. Next thing I know, the shark moved its head right towards my foot. Its teeth are right beside my foot. I'm not paying attention. I could have lost a foot just like that. You really have to respect.
You're
really
so right about that.
Awareness.
So right about that. And that's the thing. A lot of people don't realize these fish. Not only are they so powerful, but they are incredibly agile. And one biggest misconception with shark fishing is that the bigger the shark, the more dangerous. It's exactly the opposite. It's the small little ones that start twisting around like this, and next thing they'll grab onto you or come back and bite you.
That shark that Hunter caught last year, that real small one.
Yeah.
I was absolutely, when it bit down on your hook remover tool, it shocked me just how much force was behind it. This little adolescent shark just absolutely destroyed that hook remover.
Yeah.
It down and you're trying to pry like crazy to get back open, man. And it's a whole different monster. That's why I say you really have to have your mind right before you get into that. That's why me specifically, I don't really invite people to go with me when me and Catterman, because it's got to be a maturity. There's got to be a maturity to be able to go after. And if you just, oh my gosh, I'm gonna catch a shark now. You gotta get your mind right first, Not sound cocky or arrogance, but one, there's a lot of laws you gotta follow. Me and Catterman not gonna be responsible if you get yourself hurt. You know what I'm saying?
Nope. Liability waiver. That's another thing, the big thing that comes with this business. But I mean, it's also, you got to, exactly. It should be exciting. It should be. It's an incredible experience to be able to see a shark in person and feel it for the first time. I mean, it's an awing experience. But then exactly, you got to know that you're responsible also now for that fish. And like, that's exactly the reason why I'm starting this charter service up, because it's like there are a lot of laws. So I think it's better to have somebody who's more seasoned to show you. But two, it's also an incredible learning experience because sharks there's such a misconception around them. Yes, they're dangerous if you mess with them, but they're beautiful in their own way. And they're machines, literally. They clean up the oceans, they keep the ecosystem healthy. And as long as you have a responsible, exactly, like a responsible, mature mindset when you handle them, it can be an incredible experience for you. Oh, shark fishing in a flow tube. Hey, so what I recommend to them is before you get out there, you want to take like this pin, you want to look at your flow tube and you want to pop it. And then you just want to call 911 and just let yourself get dragged back to shore.
Do it before the shark does.
That's it. Or I'm using you as bait. Let me know if you got like a little thing on there where you can just, all we're going to hear out there, sweet doggy.
Sweet. Oh.
He got my glizzy.
Saying that.
I don't know if you'll hear the sweet doggy part, but you might hear the sweet, and then that's it. Like it stops right after that. Yeah.
When he first came out with that, I kept asking myself, I've heard that somewhere before. Where did I hear that? Major Pain, man. Right after his dinner date with
oh, you were damn right about that.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Saxon Robot.
yeah. Oh, that was one of my favorite movies back then. I could watch that every day.
That was because I was like, where did I hear Sweet Doggy before it was Major Pain?
Yeah, bro, you're taking me back. That's crazy.
Bro, when I was on that
you want to talk about somebody? You want to talk about somebody that talk about big fish? We got Sean from Catfish Heroes in the house. Him and Tim Scott with Epic bringing some monster fish. Right now, they're on the hunt. They're on a hunt for that 130-pound blue.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Catterman, James River.
Wow, really?
The one off this James River, it just shocked me how big a baits they use, man. Like, I think next time I fish down there, someone said it was Combat Carl. He said, "Man, when you fish for these big blue catfish, take that sharp rod with a 20-odd hook, throw it in there with a huge piece of bait. You never know." Mm-hmm. So I tell you, want to do that with the sharp rod next time I go on the James River, man. Because the James River, you catch 40-pounders out of there like you catch 5-pounders out of the Potomac, man. It's just
really
just like that. You know what I'm saying?
See,
that's crazy.
Sean and them, Epic, they fish out of the Mississippi River, places like that.
Oh man, I know.
You're got these monster fish come out of.
Yeah. I got a buddy, Jason Mercer, actually. He's pretty well known in the community. That guy literally tells me about all the monsters. But I mean, these rivers are huge river systems that are they're beasts you can't tame in themselves. So no wonder the blues get so big.
Yeah, absolutely. We got him. We got Hooks and Hammocks is in the house. We still got 16 people in here.
What's going on? Wait, I've already overstayed my stay. I need to get downstairs. I need to do a bunch of things, but
you don't.
I hate leaving you like this. I hate doing it.
I just watch now.
Got love for you, bro. But listen, Kelly, TBA, guys, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for the experience. Hopefully, I'll be back again soon. Just let me know. And deadlines in the meantime.
Yep. All right. Appreciate it, Kevin.
All right.
Thanks so much, everybody. All right, Brandon. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, man. Peace out.
Peace. Oh, wait. Catterman out.
And then there was just two.
Yep. I still got 14 people in the house. Yeah, man. What's coming up? What's coming up for you? What's anything new? Any tackle that you're looking into getting? Anything?
So it's with my catfish tackle because where I use like I use way overrated like stuff, just over heavy gear for catfish, and it is coming on that time where I'm gonna have to replenish the tackle box. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
I'm getting low on hooks, I'm getting low on steel leaders, so it's finished. And then as far as videos, I got a video coming out Wednesday. It's a flathead video, but again, as I said earlier in the stream, June 16th, that Wednesday at 4 p.m. Probably one of my best, the best flathead catfish trip I've ever had will be dropping. I was out with the Flatty Daddies. It was a spur of the moment decision, and when we got up there, it wasn't a crazy active bite, but every single fish that hit was just good quality. And so I got a new PB now. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say what it is, but I'm still it's not the 50-pound club just yet, but I'm still searching for a 50-pound flathead, man. Like, and then this weekend I'm going out on a boat with a buddy of mine. We're going after some snakeheads. He has a spot that there is no shore access because it's covered in brush and woods and trees. And so I'm just going to creep up there on a boat. He calls it the Dragon's Lair. Now, see, with snakeheads, we call them dragons when they're at least 30 inches and at least 10 pounds. And every time you go there, you catch dragon status snakeheads. So got that going on. And then I'm going to try to start busting out the kayak here again as well, man. Start getting some kayak videos. I think I finally got my homemade tripod for homemade GoPro mount for my kayak made, so that way I can have two cameras on the kayak as well as going live from my kayak as well. I had one trial. It did not go too good, and so I tinkered some stuff on there, and I think we're gonna be good to go now. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Now I noticed you were doing something a little while back about your kayak. Did you end up getting a new kayak, or you still got the old one?
Still got the old one. Right now, I was getting ready to go buy a house actually, and once these prices started going up, I'm like, okay, I'm kind of backing away right now. But probably going to be this fall when I do get a new kayak, because what happened, Has Life had sent me a photo and a video of this kayak, and I was like, man, this thing is like a little plastic barge almost, man. There's so much room in it, and so definitely would like to upgrade to that. Problem is, it's going to be a lot heavier than my current kayak, my New Canoe Classic 12.
Yeah,
and I also want to get a trolling motor mounted on the front of the kayak, because there are some places that you got to kayak pretty far to get to where they can, I want that motor ride advantage to get out there.
Well, I mean, we can only pedal with our feet for so long till we're wore out, especially when you're trying to cover a lot of space.
Oh, I don't have no pedals. This is straight arm power.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, because the thing I'm not New Canoe, their pedal system is almost like a skeleton that goes to the back, and it's almost as expensive as a kayak itself. It's not like Old Town where you could just drop it inside the little housing that it has and you're good to go. This is a whole entire skeleton that you have to install onto the New Canoe just so you can paddle. So, but this kayak is. I'm sorry.
You anchor up now. Do you anchor up, or do you kind of drift when you're on a kayak?
Right now, I just use them for snakeheads, and with snakeheads, they like the shallow, low water lying, marshy type of environment. So I actually have this little anchor pole that I had hooked to the kayak. I actually stick it in the water and anchor to the bottom of the water.
Okay.
Right there. Or if I'm in some hydrilla, some padding, that'll hold me in place right there, and I can just work a frog all around me, But I do have an actual anchoring system for the New Canoe. I haven't installed it yet, but it has about 50 feet of rope on there along with an anchor as well.
Yeah. Has says those pedal drives get pretty pricey. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll probably, because in Maryland, if you put any type of propulsion on a kayak, it's considered a boat. And so you have to register it, title it, and all that good stuff. And when I get this Ascend 133X, I'm probably going to get a trolling motor put on there and just go all out, man. Because, I mean, I found probably a majority of my spots I'm finding now is when I'm working. I'm driving past spots while I'm driving to a destination. So what I'll do is I'll pull over, I'll mark on the GPS, and now I have it saved for when I want to try it out. And it's just so wide open, such wide open water. I want to cover all of it. So I definitely control a motor to do that.
And I remember you talking about you do come into Kentucky sometimes, don't you?
I used to. That run ended the end of March, and I can't lie, I'll probably never do it again because after about 4 months on that run, I'm like, all right, it's getting kind of old. I miss being home. I miss being able to sleep in my home. Hey, you know, you living in that tractor, and when I was doing that, I hardly had any time to put out any videos. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If I had a weekend or a week or even a day, I'll do that, but I'm not going to commit to another 6-month run like that. It's just too much, man.
Yeah. I was going to say, if you ever did, there's some awesome areas down here that you would love to be on a kayak.
Okay.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Dude, we got some creeks and some river areas that, dude, flatheads galore.
It's funny.
You'd love it.
Catterman has been trying so hard to talk me into going after flatheads and blue catfish on a kayak. I can't lie, I'm a little nervous about hooking it to a 50-pounder and trying to drag it into the kayaks. I'm afraid I'm going to flip over or fall out or something. You know, I got to get my confidence up for something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we've got one little creek area here. It's called Buck Creek, right off of Lake Cumberland, and it's home to some monsters. Cousin of mine it was 3 years ago, caught an 18-pound flathead monster. That was a monster. I mean, its head was huge.
Wow, that's what's up, man.
Yeah, so that's what I'm aiming for. But the problem is with me, when I don't have a boat or the kayak, I've got to do it off the bank, and I've got to find spots for it.
Yeah,
and it's hard.
Yeah, that's my thing. I want to get a boat, but I was trying to hold off till I got a house, but the problem is now I don't want to buy a house with how these prices are going up. So, right now, it's not big enough to haul a boat. So I'm eventually going to probably get a new vehicle just to get a boat. And so that way, it's probably going to be like a bigger John boat because I want to be able to go out on the open water and for big catfish, but I also want to be able to have the ability to get into shallow waters with it as well.
Yeah. Yeah, Has says, I'm scared of that too, TBA says, I'm just kayak to better bank spots.
Yep. And I ain't gonna lie, too. That's half the time is what I do with my kayak, man. Just get to spots where it's either too far to walk or that's not accessible by foot, and bam, you're right there. Just land the kayak, get your gear set up, and, you know.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, see right here, we've got to find spots. I don't know if you've ever been in the lives before, but I talk about Lake Cumberland. Lake Cumberland's really not known for the catfish anymore like it used to be. Lake Cumberland got commercialized a lot years ago. So, but a lot of the catfish had pushed up toward the rivers, up the creeks, and that's where they're staying now. More up in that area. I mean, they're still coming back down in the lake, but not as much as like they used to. We don't have the population like they do.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I think I've heard of Lake Cumberland before. You know, and I know the same thing with the blue cat.
It's the largest body of water I think in North America when it comes to shoreline. We've got 1,200. I think it's like 1,255 miles of shoreline.
Oh, wow. Let me ask you this. How far are you from Louisville, Kentucky?
3 hours south.
3 hours south. Okay. Because that's when I was on that run, that's where I went to was the airport down there. They call it Worldport for UPS.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, everything ships in and ships out of the Louisville area around here. Yeah, everything does.
Oh yeah.
All right, Troy. We'll see you later, man. Yeah, get back to editing the videos. We still got 13 wonderful people in here. Mark from Catfish and Crappies in the house.
What's up?
We had Muskrat, Roger from Muskrat Adventures in here. He's got a show on tonight. He's going to give us the updates on fishing for freedom. They were doing that for all the Patriots up there in Illinois. So we're going to have all the updates from him later.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think that is.
I'll be going.
But yeah.
Gotta be at work at 3 a.m.
I'm sort of off tomorrow. I've got my second job tomorrow, but I don't have to start as early as I normally do. I've got my little Debbie job tomorrow, but I'll start about 9 or 10 in the morning instead of 3 in the morning.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So I can sleep in a little bit until my child wakes me up.
Yeah.
She'll come running in the bedroom and wake me up.
Oh.
It says, all right, time to eat dinner and clock into the office.
Yeah. I know that feeling. Matter I was editing the trailer for the second Flathead video pretty much from the time I got home until starting this live stream. And, like what I'll do, I like to try to give the best I can with my editing. And so if I get tired, if I get bored, I'll take a break and go back to it later, man. Because I've caught myself trying to edit videos when I'm tired. I'm trying to rush through stuff. And the next day I'll start editing and I just see something crazy like, why did I do that? And so I just, leave that and just redo that whole sequence right there. But,
Yeah. That's just the one thing I'm just not good at editing videos. I've got one from my creek that I'd like to get edited and put out. I mean, it'll be probably a good 15-minute long video, but I just don't know how to set it up and how to do it right and get the content.
It's all about knowing the software that you're using. Like I use Premiere Pro and I'm still learning the ins and outs of it. But biggest thing, I take my time. If I don't like something, I'll do something completely different. I'll do a bunch of different things. The best thing for me is when I have a vision of what I want to do with that video after the trip. It's so much easier because I know what I want to do. I know what kind of music I want to use, And to me personally, as a YouTuber fishing, probably the editing the videos is probably my favorite part of doing all this. That's why me personally, I'll do the live streams, but I love editing and putting videos out because I want to tell a story. I don't want people to just watch my videos. I want people to feel engaged. I want them sitting at the edge of their seats like, whoa.
Yeah. This is like your video that you dropped of your trip where you actually driving and stuff like that. Like your day, the in and outs of your day of running for your business, for your job.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that to me, I like that. I mean, yeah, that's not going to be the thing for a lot of people, but I mean, I enjoyed that. But I mean, if you look at some of my first lives, that's what I was doing. I was driving for work.
Yeah.
I was on a road trip for work, not fishing. So I mean, that's just kind of things I could do.
It was the same thing with me too. Like, it was really getting hard for me to do videos, and everybody always kept asking, "What's it like, man? What's it like doing?" You know what, man? I'm gonna make a video of this. So I use my iPhone 2 GoPro and my Panasonic Lumix G8 V, man, and just told the story. The hardest part about that video was later on in the week trying to remember to record certain things because I record that, and plus, there's a lot of times we're doing the same thing throughout the week, so I didn't want to be too repetitive in that video. And me, I try to change my style up every so often. I don't want to be known for just having the same old type of videos. I want to be unpredictable in this YouTube world. You know what I'm saying? So that way it kind of keeps people guessing, and it's just not. It's not like you're just kind of watching reruns of the same old thing. I try to stay away from doing what other people do.
Yeah, appreciate you, Kevin, coming in, man. He put it up there, said thanks for having me on, everyone. Hope all have a blessed evening. Yeah, man, I appreciate you coming in, man.
When you said Kevin, I was thinking Palmetto. What's that? Palmetto's in here?
Yeah, Mr. Catterman. But he said TBA keeps getting better and better.
I tell you honestly, a lot of how I do things was based off of Catterman, because the video that really made me go wow with Catterman, he did this video called Chasing Down a Tax Man. And he might have been a little bit, but he took his kayak out to go shark fishing, and he hooked the biggest sandbar I've ever seen. It was just huge. It surfaced just a little bit, and it took right back off, and you hear him say, "Oh, I better open the drag." And as soon as he opened the drag, bam, that shark went deep, man. But the way he did that video, it really felt like I was watching a major motion picture. And the way he does his videos kind of motivates me to how I want to do my videos. So it really made me want to start investing in better equipment. It made me want to start doing different things with B-roll, because when I first started fishing with him, I would see him just filming random things. I'm thinking, what are you doing, Catterman? And when he put it all together, everything just came together so beautifully.
Yeah.
I won't say I copy him, but he is definitely a major influence of how I do.
Yeah, he inspired you to do more. Yeah.
And then another inspiration, again, I don't know if he's in here, but Palmetto, he did, when he had the tournament where they were up for like over 24 hours. When he did the trailer to that, oh my God.
The Iron Cats, the first Iron Cat, yeah.
It was amazing, man. I mean, he's constantly thinking outside the box with how he does things. And I don't know if Palmetto's in here or not, but he's another big one.
No, I haven't seen him pop in yet. I think Ryan Bortz, I don't know if he's still out fishing, but Ryan Bortz was live earlier, so he was in Ryan Bortz watching him, but I think he had some work to do tonight or something.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I enjoyed. I mean, a lot of stuff that I've been watching back and forth, going back in and watching more of Catterman stuff. Was like, especially the ones I enjoyed was him doing. We talked about it before the show started. Was him doing the fishing in Philly?
Yeah.
And I told him, I was like, dude, I enjoyed that. And he was talking about the backstory of it. The guy that he was supposed to do a kind of get him on fishing with, and then it turned basically 360 around backwards. So now he was kind of going at him just a little bit, throwing some shots at him. But I mean, it was cool. The shows, the videos and stuff.
Now, have you seen his videos he did with One Rod, One Reel?
Yes.
Yeah. So One Rod, as a matter of fact, One Rod, One Reel's personal best blue catfish was actually with Catterman, like a 40-something pound blue catfish down at the tidal basin in D.C.
Yeah.
And it was fun. First time I met Catterman, it was actually me, Catterman, Chunky Cats was there, that hook set, and then there's another guy. There's two other guys. Kyle J, his YouTube channel is Riding Gravity, and then there's another guy named Fishing and Photography with Swan, but he hasn't put in a while. And Catterman, I started recognizing him because I started hearing his voice. I'm like, you fish with One Rod, One Reel, have you? He's like, I don't know, did I? And what happened, I think he had longer hair when he did that video, but his hair he had cut his hair shorter. I was like, oh snap, okay, all right, man.
Yeah, he put a comment and says you gotta own. He says you got your own style for sure, but man, you just motivate me just as much. That's what this is all about, helping each other. I mean things like that. That's what I like about the catfish community. We're here to help each other. That's what we're here for. we're not here like the bass fishermen that are out there on the waters. You ain't gonna have my spot. Don't you ever come and fish my spot. We're here to help each other. Yeah, we may not show you our secret spots, but we're gonna help you get onto a fish down the road. We're gonna say, hey, you need to look at this. This is how you need to look at this area. Watch these ledges. Fish this spot under this brush, these rocks. I mean, we're gonna help you with that. That's what I love about the catfish community.
You want to know who's worse than the bass community? Go into the snakehead community. Just see how awful it is.
It's worse.
The snakehead community is 10 times worse than the bass community.
Oh,
It is the snakehead community. There's so many little factions and cliques and oh my goodness, and everybody's just so bent on finding spots and oh, I know that spot, I know that grass in that spot, and I'm like, oh my goodness, man. I tell them like this: if you don't own the spot, it ain't your spot, bro. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like, I got my spots, but if someone else knows a spot and they post pictures of it, I ain't gonna get mad at them because it ain't my spot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, snakehead community. Woo! Oh, honestly, it's been nice like fishing for flatheads all this time now because it's just like I get a break from some of the craziness in the snakehead community. But you know,
Are you gonna? I don't know. I don't think I've even seen any of your videos. Do you do any creek fishing or anything like that?
I haven't. It's just something I haven't really targeted like in creeks or anything like that. Now, back in 2018, when I first started getting into blue catfish, there were a couple of videos where there's a particular creek that shoots off in the Potomac, and blue catfish get stuck back there. So it is a very good fishing spot. Problem is there's these huge boulders that are also inside this little creek. So I mean, you get snags sitting back here. I'm much more of an open water guy. I like to expand my horizons to like crappie, trout. You know, I've never really tried to target them like that, but I'd like to because I like trying different things in fishing. Man, I'm not really one person to just stick to one particular species. You know,
Yeah.
I just like changing it up because it's a different mindset for different species. So
Yeah. Now, when you talk about the creek and stuff, how's the creek set up? Like, how deep is it and things like that?
I'm not exactly sure where the deepest parts are. I will say it's enough that it can sweep you away because it is a constant moving current there.
Okay.
Normally, you're going to need a minimum of 3 ounces of weight. But again, there's so many snags there. There's probably I would not be surprised if there's over $1,000 worth of gear snagged up in this particular area because there's just so many snags. And for that reason, I haven't fished there in a while because I've bought a whole bunch of new gear and I've lost it all in the same day because of how many snags are in there. Because even if you cast away from the snags, that current might push you.
Yeah. What I was thinking is like, so that area is set up. I wonder if like they use in the drifting weights, where it's long beaded weights. If that would be better for something like that, because where you're having that rocks, you're not having this big weight like you do the teardrop weights or anything like that to snag on. Maybe that drifting weight would be better, or even like a I don't know if you ever used them or seen them, the Patriot floats, having something like that to keep the bait up off the bottom a little bit.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
When you're fishing, especially if you're going to try to go after any catfish that get up in that area, that actually might help you a little bit.
But what it is, there's a fallen tree on the other side of this creek. That's where all the catfish stack up at. And what I like to do, this was actually my first video that kind of took off in 2018. I went fishing that day, didn't catch nothing, but I switched up techniques because I didn't want to lose any more gear. So I took the weight off and I'd free line that whole entire trip because I had a big enough piece of eel where I would be able to cast out. But now I didn't have weight on there, so now it was minimizing my snags and minimizing me losing my gear. And so I kind of to a DIY video, like a know how to or a how to video. And I mean, it took off on YouTube, and I was taking a risk right there because that was my first video that I posted on the YouTube where I didn't catch a thing. Because in 2018, my goal was, my name is Brandon. I'm known as a Baltimore angler. I can catch blue catfish. I just wanted to establish myself in 2018.
Yeah.
And when I went with that video, I was holding my breath because I didn't know how it was going to go. You know, I didn't want to be a new guy putting videos out of me skunking, because I was like, okay, who is this guy? He's new on YouTube. He ain't catching no fish. Who is this guy? I don't want to be that guy. So,
look, I mean, look at mine. I mean, I've done four live fishing videos and 0 catfish.
but you know, though, again, with YouTube, you just never know. The videos that you think are going to go take off and do awesome, they don't do nothing. Then the videos that you just sit on, you're like, I don't know if I should release that.
Yeah.
And you put it out on YouTube, that video takes off just like that, man. YouTube.
And that's like getting into doing this little talk show is just, I mean, it's been wonders. I mean, I've enjoyed it from day one. It's just, and it's like a lot of people talk about Country Boy catfishing, 351 Cleveland, Avid, a few others. It's just the people I've had on here. I've had Avid on here just last week. I've had Dieter Melhorn on. I've had Paula Smith on. Kevin Palmetto. I've had Haslife on. I mean, I've had some big name people. I mean, you, Catterman. I mean, I've had people that are out there. I mean, it's really took off.
Again, when you really get serious in YouTube, man, it becomes a monster of its own. I remember
absolutely.
A couple months ago, I was having a business meeting with someone over fishing, and I'm like, wow, here I am in this nice restaurant, eating this nice food with the nicest drinks they have, all over fishing, and it's a business meeting. I'm like, whoa, is this really happening right now? Like, gee whiz, like, it's awesome for networking and meet new people, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. We got Bex with No Real Losses in here. Hey, Bex, get my email out of my About page on my channel. Email me. I want to bring you all on, you and everybody else with No Real Loss on to be on the show. I think it'd be awesome to get you all on.
They'd be good to have on.
Yeah. And we got Dan from Green Machine. There's another kayak guy that's been killing it on kayaks.
I was watching some of his stuff today, man. I was like, man, go ahead, bro.
Yeah. Dan, him and Stan 3. Dude, they've been killing it on kayaks lately.
I've been studying them too, and then kayak catfish, because I just got to get my confidence up with handling a catfish like that in such a confined space. Because I'm like with snakeheads, man. Snakeheads just go crazy. Like, and with snakeheads, they're very, very reactive to human energy. So if you start kind of cringing and stuff a little bit, they can sense that and they'll start going crazy. And I mean, it's such a that's also why, like, if I'm on a kayak, I use treble hooks. I do not use treble hooks because that can get very nasty very quick.
Dan, you got a hot one heading our way. All right, I definitely want to see that one. Yeah, he sent out some pictures to Kevin Palmetto and to Ryan Bortz of some catfish he's been catching. It's been crazy.
I don't know if you follow this guy on Instagram, Rock Bottom Catfishing. That guy, he tears the flatheads up. I mean, he just, and then the way he takes his pictures, even at nighttime, the colors are just amazing with how you can just see the beautiful colors on the fish. And I mean, he's someone I really follow on Instagram, man. Like and plus he's a new canoe guy like me. He puts his whole entire house in his new canoe, and he's good to go.
Yeah, Dane said he had a bunch of monsters today. He quadrupled up and multiple doubles today.
Oh, that's what's up.
Oh, here you go. Bex has got something for you here. Let me pop it up on the screen here.
TBA, I'm gonna ask you for help getting my first snakehead. I saw some today, but could not get them to bite. Now, no real loss. Look, when you saw them today, what exactly were they doing? Because if with snakeheads, if you see two paired together and their dorsal fins are just out of water and they're just kind of hanging out, you could throw everything you got. They're not going to bite because they started to spawn right there, which I think start right now too. Cool thing with snakeheads, I'm catfishing when it gets really hot outside. Snakehead, the hotter the heat, the more they bite. And if you're using a lure, you can work them lures super fast and they will strike. My best. I had to roll out because the heat was too much that day. I saw first down, Dave. What's going on, man?
He said, before we get to his question that he wants you to say anything, Paul Meadows in the house. And he says, you know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying, Paul Meadows? We was talking about you earlier, man. I was telling him how I got this. I got a Flathead video coming out in a couple weeks that I'm doing a trailer, man. And when I'm making this trailer, you were a pretty big driving force behind it because the way you did that trailer with your Iron Cat tournament, I'm like, man, he's constantly raising the bar and setting a new standard. And it's just motivating me to get my stuff together and try to, you know what I'm saying, get on that Paul Meadows level. You know what I'm saying, Kevin?
First down says talk about something about the pepperoni roll.
Oh man, that's the West Virginia right there, man. You know what I'm saying? Who was saying about some pepperoni rolls? Yeah, man. I try to get one whenever I go back home to West Virginia. You know what I'm saying? They ain't got none out here in Maryland. They all about the blue crabs and Old Bay and all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Bex says had a few blow up, but I'm pretty sure it was a bass. But she wasn't sure.
When you heard that blow up, was there like a distinct popping noise with it? Because bass, it just sounds like a lot of water just being drained and sucked out at once. But with snakeheads with those smaller mouths, there's a distinct popping sound that you hear when they attack.
Yeah, because I see a lot of bass and stuff like that and carp jumping out of the water, so I could tell the difference in them, the sound of the water, almost like a slush sound, almost like a vacuum slush.
Snakeheads.
She said popping for sure.
Yep, that's a snakehead. They have a very distinct pop when they attack a lure. And also too, if you're not getting hookups, if you're using top water frogs, I would downsize and go with a smaller frog, so that way it's easier for them to get in their mouths. And if they're having trouble getting that frog, I'll just slow the action down just a little bit, because the goal is to make that target look as easy as possible for them. It's like, oh yeah, I'm about to get that frog. Oh snap, bam! You know what I'm saying?
See, I wish we had. I don't know if we do or not, but I wish we had some snakeheads around here because I'm killer with a topwater frog.
I tell you, if you can catch, I tell people all the time, there's some guys in the snakehead community. No, it's not the same. Yeah, it's not exactly the same. But if you can catch bass, you catch snakeheads. Went out all by himself at a spot, like I think it was 3 hours away from his house. He took his kayak by himself. He caught a snakehead, man, because he does bass fishing. He understands bass fishing. He went out there, he did his thing, got a snakehead. Fishing magician, same thing. Like, he was getting a lot of short strikes, but he has yet to get his first snakehead. But got a feeling this year is going to be his year, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Beck said, so close, shakes fist, I downsized.
Okay. Yeah. If you see them on the surface and there's two lined up together and it just they look like they're in a sort of motion, but they're just standing still, then they're probably spawning. At that point, you're not gonna catch them. They are not. They get lockjaw whenever they start spawning.
Yeah. First down says you coming down to catch some bowfin. So they're hosting their first ever national tournament in August.
Oh snap! What day in August? I got vacation in August. I'm actually on vacation. You know, I'm a truck driver, so I'll make that drive. It ain't nothing for me to hop in the car and go drive a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Palmetto says snakeheads are bad news dogs.
Yeah, and the thing with snakeheads, everybody thinks it's because of just how they attack and just how opportunistic feeders they are. But you got to realize they have the tools to be able to survive in very low oxygenated water. They can scoot across land. They have the ability to breathe air on land, and even if the water beds dry up, they could burrow into the mud and just stay put. You know, it's just their whole entire biology is what's able to make them thrive, and that's why they're able to, you know, expand and reproduce like they do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. He said it's a 2-day tournament, $20 an angler, but he hadn't said what days yet.
Yeah, because if it's like the week of the 14th and 15th, 16th, and all between the 14th and 21st, I can make that, man, because I'm on vacation that week. You know what I'm saying? I'll make it down there too.
There you go. Brad Cottle. Appreciate that, man. Subbing to TBA. Yep. Absolutely. Don't forget to, guys, this first half of the show, we had Kevin with the fishing adventures of Catterman on, and he had to take off real quick at 7 to get some stuff done. He says he did. He says he did.
He's got a lot in the background.
Oh, I know he does.
He's on the verge of getting his shark business taking off.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Yeah, he's got his hands full. Definitely getting all the legal legalities out of the way, getting all that stuff where he can do that charter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he wanted to do it in New Jersey, but shark fishing's kind of up on New Jersey, so he's going down to Delaware now and try to get everything set up in Delaware. It is so much he has to do, you know.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I'm gonna tell you though, when it comes to sharking, he knows his stuff, man. He knows his stuff when it comes to sharking.
Yeah. First down says the 7th and the 8th.
Crap. Cool. I'll be working that day, those 2 days. But the next week I'll be on vacation though, man. I'll still try to make a trip down there. See, First Down Fishing, for y'all who don't know, he and I go way back. We played football together, you know what I'm saying? And so we've known each other for years, top of years. And, you know, once he started getting this YouTube game, you know, he's always texting me and, hey, man, I'm doing this right. I'm doing that right. And he seriously would get 1,000 views per video. And he'll say, man, I'm not doing good. I said, Dave, bro, you know how many people wish they were at that level, man? Because,
yeah.
He's taking off, you know? It's different kind of fishing from what you normally see on there. He goes after a lot of the speckled sea trout, redfish. He's been tearing up the redfish. He had some bowfin fishing going on as well, man. He's doing a lot of stuff. And when you watch his videos, it doesn't look like he just started YouTube. He looked like he looks like a professional producer or something. He just makes such beautiful videos, man. He has an even mix of B-roll and action and how he narrates everything too. His videos just streamline so well. And he'll still, man, I don't know if that was good enough. I was like, Dave, it was all right, man.
Yeah, it's just like I talk with Tim Scott, Epic Catfishing. I talk with him a lot, and he's like, man, he said if my videos he's talking about like his views on his videos, like some of his videos he does. He goes, yeah. He said that one didn't work out as good. He said if I don't get 100 views per hour, he said it's not a good video.
See, every single YouTuber's got their own standard of what they like. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
You know, and again, I think it just comes to just kind of doing what works for you. You know, there's some guys who they're not really original. They kind of just copy what others do. But, you know, the thing is, none of us someone else. We got to do what works best for us.
Yeah.
I really love Palmetto Cats, man, because he's just his mind is constantly out the box, and he's just doing such different things, man. And what really got me turned on to Palmetto was his Golden Whiskers Awards that he did. Oh,
Yeah.
man, that was just so doggone awesome, man. I was like, dang, this guy got it right here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, it's just like, I mean, with this show, I mean, Avid's got his show on Sunday nights. Palmetto's got his show on Sunday nights. You got Stan and Creo doing their show, Bank to Fish and stuff like that. And you got Roger with Muskrat Adventures doing his Tuesday night shows. And I was like, and then you got Catfish Weekly, Panfish Now, you got Patriot James. And I was like, I'm watching these shows and I'm sitting going, nobody's talking about tackle. We're talking about fishing. We're talking about how they got their start and things like that. And I was like, I really want to know what they're using. So I was like, yeah, I'll tell you 100%. Everybody in the chat, I'm going to tell you 100% right now. I don't know anything about everything about tackle. I really don't. But I know what I'm using. I know what I'm using works good for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Palmetto, we did have one. Chris, I was talking with Patriot James Smith. He had one years ago. He was doing a tackle talk, and then Chris Souders picked it up and started doing a tackle talk for a long time. But then it dropped off, and then nobody was doing it. So, but yeah, I was like, I really want to know what everybody's using to just kind of have an idea.
And that's a very good.
Yeah.
Do that too, because I know me very with like having everything. Comes to my storage, I'm not. But when it comes to having everything ready to go for a fishing trip, I'm prepared. My goal is not around with stuff. My goal is to have poles in the water so I can have a chance to catch fish.
Yeah, Palmetto said he had a terminal tackle knot. I didn't know that, Palmetto. Didn't know you had a tackle terminal tackle. That's interesting. It's new to me. I didn't know that. Yeah, Palmetto, I appreciate that, man. I really do. From you saying that I'm doing a great job, I really do appreciate that. I'm just trying to do something different than everybody, and just trying to get everybody aware.
That's doing an awesome job, because again, with so many people who are starting to live stream more, you got to really find a way to stand out from everybody else. And it's like you said, nobody talks about what's in the tackle box, but tackle gives you a very good insight of that fisherman, man. You know what I'm saying? And so you definitely got a good thing going on, man.
I appreciate it. Yeah, basically, the show is basically just bring out the tackle, bring out what you're using, and if somebody likes what you're using that might help for them, then we can say, hey, okay, then here's where they got that tackle. Then you can go get it if you need it, if that's going to work for you.
Exactly, yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. He said I did a kayak night too, and nobody watched.
I guess with kayaks, there's not too many people who really go out on kayaks like that, especially the majority of like catfishermen. You know what I'm saying? There's just few and far between. Catterman is trying like crazy to get me on the kayak to go catfishing. I'm still trying to overcome that, I guess, that fear of handling a big catfish. Because I had a buddy of mine, 2018, he was fighting, I think it weighed exactly 50 pounds. It was 47-inch blue catfish. And when he was fighting it from his kayak, that fish was towing him all over the place. That catfish was in control of that fight. He was just hanging on for the ride. Then he had his drag too tight, so now his rod starts going in the water. His kayak starts to tilt a little too much. And he finally opened the bell just to let some line out. And after he had got that fish, they went to shore, took pictures, and he was spent, absolutely just wore out. I'm still trying to get over that fear, just that nervousness of handling a big catfish like that.
Look at like a Dan with Green Machine, or Stan 3, Ryan Bortz, Clint from Circle Hook Productions, where they're all on kayaks. I think Stan and one of his brought in like a 40-something pound blue catfish on a kayak. He tripled up that night. So he probably had over 100 pounds inside his boat almost at one time.
Gosh,
Yeah.
man. And them guys, they all make it look so easy. With me, I just get so nervous in that kayak. I'm like, man, I just really don't want to flip over, man. But what I really need to do when I go shark fishing with Catterman next time, I'm going to take the kayak. And I'm just going to take it out there, and I'm going to intentionally start falling off so I can practice getting back on, because I just don't have that confidence. I'll fall off of what's the technique to get back on. I need to practice that, because there's a local guy around here that says, man, I did that. That was the best thing I ever did, because I know if I fall off, I can get right back on, man. And that's probably...
Palmetto just posted up there his weights. It was a 42, a 46, and a 51.
Jeez, man.
At one time, it was tripled. Like as soon as they hit the 42, he was getting the 46, and then he got the 51. Like all like just like that. Yeah.
One of these days, I'm out there with Catterman eventually and get my confidence up, man. It's just trying to get over that fear, man. It's just something that just thinking about that. Snakeheads is cool because, I mean, they're not going to get too much over 15 pounds, but 50-pound catfish in a kayak, man. Oh.
Well, not just that. Like Stan 3 did with the 42 and a 46.
Yeah.
Not just having a 50. You were having two other 40 plus catfishes in at the same time. I mean, it's just it's crazy. But I mean, the way they got it set up, I mean, you're not gonna. I mean, he wasn't looking like he's gonna tip at all. I mean, he had it set up perfect.
Well, I want to get this newest Sin 133X kayak because it's got a lot. The new canoe for me, like, because it has two platforms on each side, so you can stand up in it. But when you sit down, there's not a lot of room to move.
No.
Backflips in that kayak. So I definitely want to get a bigger kayak to where I can at least lay the fish down and kind of just gather myself, compose myself, and be ready to methodically do whatever I got to do next. So that way I can get confidence and start going after catfish. Because once I get confidence and going after catfish on a kayak, that's a wrap. Put me in there with like Ron Port's Green Machine and Catterman and all that. Catterman, another one. He will go in the middle of the night in the biggest open river and catch monsters, and he's just so happy. I'm like, dang, Catterman, he's He's a
different beast. Let's put it that way.
He is like the American version of like Bear Grylls or something, man. He just wild stuff.
Yeah.
He tried to get kayak fishing with him for some sharks. I said, no way, nah.
Yeah, I was in his live when he was doing that the other day, and he had kayak all the way out, and he comes back in. I just had to get back in right when he gets back, and he's like, "Yeah, I rolled my kayak 3 times." I was like, "Dude," he's like, "Yeah, I lost my glasses." He said, "I lost my headlamp." He lost everything. I was like, "Dude."
Let me tell you something about Catterman. Catterman is constantly losing something in the ocean. Because what happened, we were flathead fishing, and his phone was recording on a tripod, and it was recording me, and he actually caught footage of a flying squirrel went right over my head. I ducked so it would miss me. Got everything on camera. He went shark fishing the next day, lost his phone in the Atlantic Ocean. So his headlamp, his cell phone, his glasses, they all probably sitting in the same spot somewhere in the Atlantic Ocean. It's somewhere. He is constantly losing stuff in the ocean, man.
Oh yeah.
I gotta do a buddy check with him whenever he comes back in. Hey, you got everything? All right, good.
Yeah. Yeah. But like you said earlier in the show, said Becca from Mud Tramp really helped him out. She did an awesome job at giving him a big donation to help him get his stuff back. So yeah, Becca was just the best.
Yep. And I told him, because with him, with how even when it comes to recording equipment and the editing, he has just as much knowledge in the editing and everything with YouTube as he does with. And it just blew my mind. I'm like, Catterman, you don't have your files backed up somewhere? He's like, no. I was like, dude, if you get Google Photos or iCloud or something, you lose your, man, you still got them backed up. And he's like, oh, I didn't know that. I'm Catterman. Come on, man. Yeah, that's my dude, though. And we probably talk almost every day, just seeing what's up and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's been a great getting to know him. Definitely. I know me and him will be talking a lot. I've got his phone number, so I know we'll be talking a lot from here on out. Definitely so. But yeah, I appreciate him coming on, dude. I appreciate you coming on, talking some tackle with me.
I appreciate the invite, man. You know what I'm saying? I was a little nervous that I wasn't going to get in here on time, because after I finished doing a little editing on that trailer, I kind of laid down and I closed my eyes a little bit, and I opened them up, and it was like it was 5:55. I was like, oh snap, I need to get set up. I need to get my clothes on. So, all right, we good now. You know what I'm saying? Good thing is I ain't got no hair, so I ain't got to worry about getting my hair right. You know?
Yeah, I was going to say, I shaved mine almost off, so. The only thing I did was I got down here about 15 till just to get some new setup behind me. So
yeah,
I figured I'd try it up and change it up a little bit and bring some new stuff in. So
shoot, I appreciate you inviting me on, man. It's been awesome, man.
Hey, we were holding it up with all three of us on here, even with just me and you. We were holding it up to I think the highest we got in here was like 24 at one time.
Wow, hey,
that's keeping it going.
That's what's up.
So, but everybody is still in. I know there's 9 people still in the house. Definitely go over to Muskrat Adventures. He just went live. He's going to give us the updates on the Fishing for Freedom tournament that they just had up in Illinois. So definitely want to go there and check that out. If you haven't subbed to TBA, definitely do that. You don't know what you're missing. He's got some good content. He's got some good content getting ready to come out with some flatheads and stuff and some snakehead stuff he's going to be doing later on. But
and I got a crazy flathead video June 16th at 4 p.m. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell notification. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You don't want to miss.
Absolutely.
This was a wild.
And if you haven't done it yet, if you haven't subscribed to me, make sure you all do that. We got some more shows coming up. I think I've got Patriot James coming on next week, so we're going to talk with him. This will be his only second time somebody's asked him to be on live to do talking with. So it's going to be awesome to see what he talked about. He does the Patriot floats, ghost floats and stuff. So that'll be interesting. We'll talk about a little bit of that during the show. Hopefully, No Real Lost, Bex and all them. We'll get a hold of them. We'll talk with them, get them on here. TBA, I've got see if you got my email.
Mm-hmm.
Tell Flatty Daddy to email me. I like to get him on here. I've been trying to get a hold of him, to get on here. So we got him. I've got the, Stan and Stan 3. I'm going to have them on here. We're going to talk a little bit with them. Creo Catfishing, we're going to have him on here shortly trying to figure out his job situation. So make it good for him to come on. And if anybody in the chat wants to come on, my email's in the about page. Hit me up. I don't care. We'll figure out a date to do it. But if you like this content and you want to support the channel, make sure you hit that PayPal link. And I mean, even the smallest amount is appreciated, guys. Keep it going, get the content going, getting these awesome guests in here, talk tackle and stuff like that. So we're gonna try to send it on out from here, guys. Appreciate you all coming in, supporting the channel, supporting TBA. Don't forget, hit up the fishing adventures of Catterman. He's already out, but his link is in the description. So is TBA's. So make sure you all hit them up. So we'll catch you on the next one. All right, guys. Peace.
Peace out.